We are back talking more of the chicken cookout that happened on Saturday.
Ooh-wee.
It was a lot. It was exceptional, and we got more things to say about South Carolina game right after this.
Yes, we do.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel. That's Clint. He's in a good mood tonight. We are talking about how Georgia is better than your team. And by your team, I mean if you're a South Carolina fan.
Sure.
Which you're not listening to the podcast anymore if you're a South Carolina
By
fan.
the way, Daniel, the march off the mentions every week is one of my favorite things.
They just matriculate right out of the mentions. Georgia's better than your team if you are SEC Network analyst Takeo Spikes.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. All right.
He said, I have this new job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out swinging. You know what I'm trying to say? And sometimes you get in the ring against Mike Tyson, you come out swinging, and then you on the mat. 7 seconds into the fight.
You wake up later asking somebody, what day is it?
What month is it? Georgia's better than your team if you are any team in the SEC. If you're playing football in Knoxville, Tennessee this weekend, and you consider yourself to be two of Georgia's biggest rivals, Georgia better than your team. Georgia's even better than your team if you're Penn State, who's 40 points better than Auburn.
Which, again, let that sink in. Let that sink in.
Okay, Georgia's good. We saw some things on Saturday in Columbia, South Carolina. First, quote, road test for the Dogs. So let's get into some things that stood out. We mentioned Todd Monken, but once again, deep in the bag early. A.D. Mitchell didn't play. And so I want to give a whole segment to these weapons at receiver that Georgia has, the depth and the talent at wide receiver. And I'd like to start not with Ladd McConkey, who was the best receiver on the field.
We've given him the props because Daniel is right. Mecole Hardeman, more like Ladd McConkey than anybody else.
Yeah, than Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow don't do these things. You understand? He just runs a pick play in the end zone to win a national championship. That's all he does. I want to start with Dom Blaylock, Clint. There was a Dom Blaylock sighting on Saturday.
Yes, there was.
And I was excited about it, personally. I felt really good about it. I leapt up off the couch.
Yep, as you should have.
The game was already in hand at this point. Everyone in my family looked at me like, okay, we got another first down, but we're doing that regularly.
We're fine.
I said, that's Dom Blaylock. That's a big-time catch for Dom Blaylock. He goes over on the sidelines. I'm not the only one that's pretty excited about Dom Blaylock. Because you see the reception this guy gets on the sideline. Big moment for this kid.
Everybody pumped, Daniel. Everybody pumped.
Bigger than football. Bigger than this team's win-loss record. You just feel great for this kid who has really undergone some struggles and some trials during the first part of his college career here. But to see him get back on the field, to see him get out there, make a catch, show himself that he can be a contributor in this offense as well. I love to see it, Clint.
No, 100%. Look, the wide receivers, and when we say wide receivers, look, Meeks was out there, and I know that he didn't catch that ball, but here's the point. Here's the point, Daniel. We got young wide receivers.
We got him
for days, all over the field, twisting and turning an SEC secondary. This is my point. Morissette came out there. He was balling. Daniel.
Yeah, he did. He dropped that ball in the end zone. We know that he did that. We know that he did that.
I'll say it. I don't care. Daniel,
Thank you.
I don't care that he dropped it, and you shouldn't either, Georgia fan. Here's why.
Unless your name's Carson Beck, and then then you're like, come on, homeboy, that's my touchdown. Like you dropped it.
100%. Look, I don't care because that guy's out there doing things like we saw AD, like we saw Ladd doing. This is now a factory line of replicants at wide receiver all the way through.
Dylan Bell, ready. Denala Morissette, next in the wings. We got guys, and we've not even mentioned the captain, the general, the sergeant of this wide receiving corps, Kearis Jackson, the grizzled veteran that is Kearis Jackson. Georgia's just got dudes, and they have a diversified skill set, Clint. Look,
yes, they really do.
Kearis Jackson can take you deep, but he can also get a little possession. You as well. I think for both of us, we know that Kearis Jackson has got some weapons. But Ladd McConkey, he's got a little bit of a different skill set. Daniela Morrison, Dylan Bell bring a little bit of different things to the table. I love this receiving corps.
100%, Daniel. This receiving corps is something else. It is not simply speed. It's not simply over the top. It's not simply route. Did you all see, and this is a thing that Kirby has said time and time again, and we need to just make sure that everybody else knows really, really quick what this means for wide receivers in Georgia's system. You don't block, you don't play. And if you didn't see,
that's right,
Rosemy out there just bullying a full,
thank you,
like A.D. Mitchell bullied a full, Daniel.
That's right. Premium blocking by Marcus Rosemy. Premium audio on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. These are the things that you know that you can count on. Clint just left the podcast. That's how committed he is to this Georgia team. All right, so let me talk to you about the welcome back, Clint. You're here. You made it back. This is fantastic. All right, where are we taking the people next? And are we just going to quit right now and just say, forget it, we're canceling the show, we're never doing this again? Let's never speak again. Let's you and I never speak again.
No, Daniel, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to do these ad reads right now. You're going to hit refresh and come on back in after you hit refresh.
Sounds great.
On yours. But I'm going to first tell you about Upside. Upside's fantastic. It is an app that gets you right now. You're going to get money for all the things that you pay for, whether that be gas, groceries, anything that you need to do. Upside is there for you. Get the app right now. Put in the promo code LOCKED and get $5. That's $5 with promo code LOCKED at the Upside app. It's fast. It's free. It's great. You're going to go ahead and get everything that you need for your life shipped right to you at the gas station, at the store, wherever it is. Daniel's back right in time to hear about Upside's $5 guaranteed right when you do promo code LOCKED right now. Daniel, welcome back. Glad you're here.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Premium audio quality. Listen, guys, we know what the problem is. I am traveling right now. We're not able to fix the problem.
No.
But we think we have a feel for the problem. We think we have a feel for the problem. So just bear with us. We know the audio sucks. But please drop a comment and let us know anyway. Maybe we're not aware. Maybe we have forgotten.
Refreshed. We're fine. We're fine right now.
Okay.
Okay, Daniel.
We talked about the wide receivers.
Yes.
Where are we going next, Clint?
Here's what I want to talk about, and it has more to do with the philosophy of every other SEC fan base, and including some dogs, and why
interesting.
This is when we say we're the new Alabama, I want to tell you we're the anti-Alabama. Here's why. Here's why. Okay. I want to talk about Stetson Bennett.
Thank you.
I want to talk about him doing things that no one has done since Patrick Mahomes. Point one.
That feels lofty.
I want to talk about the second leading passer in the SEC with literally a full game's worth of attempts fewer than old Mississippi State boy. Okay? A literal full game's worth of attempts less than Mississippi State.
Now, hold on. Did Bryce Young transfer to Mississippi State, Clint?
He didn't. That's Will over there. Will Rogers is doing things over at Mississippi State.
Okay, but you made it seem as though, and I know this was just a misstep on your part, probably poor audio quality. I didn't get it.
That's exactly what it was, yeah.
You made it seem as though Stetson Bennett was only behind Will Rogers in passing yards, which is a stat that he'll never compete in. He's more of a completion percentage kind of guy.
More of a manager, more of a check down guy, Daniel. More of a big play explosiveness.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's the second leading yardage quarterback in the SEC.
Okay.
He's doing things Patrick Mahomes last did in college football. He is busting the soul of a young defensive end that had no business in the game because of injury. And that poor kid, look, T's and P's to you, man. I sincerely feel bad for you because you came up thinking, oh, this is little old Stetson Bennett. Oh, this is little old work truck that's doing his thing. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to get my feast on. And then what happened is you lost control of your body because Stets took you for a ride and he didn't even touch you.
Feces everywhere. It was not a pretty scene.
Okay. Here's what I want to talk about, Daniel. Here's the narrative. The narrative
Talk to me.
is Alabama has wide receivers that are all world, sure, and quarterbacks that are all world, except when you take away certain weapons from all world quarterbacks, then all of a sudden, they're not so super great. Bryce Young shouldn't be in a Heisman conversation right now because he's not that good at quarterbacking, and that's fine to say. Alabama's still a good team, but he's not a Heisman candidate because he's not good at quarterbacking. And the narrative goes, Georgia is just doomed with this lackluster quarterback. Well, here's my question to you, because it has no stars. He's a walk-on. You got, oh my gosh, how can Georgia do this? Here's my question.
Honda.
Here's my question. My question is, if Georgia is running rickshaw all over SEC and any other football program with a less than talented quarterback, your words, not mine, people, what happens when they do get the 4- and 5-star quarterback in the system that the walk-on is currently running rickshaw all over college football? And what happens then? See, fan base, please hear me. If we are doing more with less. Imagine if we're doing more with more later down the line. Or your alternative is Stets is really dang good at college football, and he's a baller, unlike anything we've seen since the best quarterback in the NFL currently.
Yeah, so here's the thing is and I heard this on a national show, not a ESPN show or a TV show, but a national podcast. I heard this, not Georgia people, but talking about Stetson Bennett. I'm just to the point now where I'm not going to speak to you. Not if you're one of the people who were in the comments last year, who all of you have repented, and you have, and just like we at one point needed to repent, and we did.
We got the music ready for you, by the way.
I don't need to do it again. I've already done that. I'm fine. I'm not going to talk to anyone who doesn't acknowledge that Stetson Bennett is an elite college quarterback.
Period.
And you determine what elite college quarterback is as long as it has to do with what you do on the field. You choose. You choose how to evaluate him as long as it's not what recruiting gurus thought of him coming out of high school. If that's the case, you pick the measurable. Not what he's going to do in the NFL.
Nope.
By the way, there have been some elite college quarterbacks.
Yep.
Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks who were complete failures in the NFL.
Yeah.
Charlie Ward won the Heisman Trophy and then went to the NBA.
That's exactly what he did, Daniel.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he did.
So don't talk to me unless you are on board with Team Stetson Bennett. I'll be right back.
Yeah, he will. Look, here's the deal. And this is the point that I want to hammer home before we go to break. Stetson Bennett is that dude, no matter how you slice it. You pick, Georgia fan or Alabama fan or Florida fan or anybody, you pick the stat, the game wins, the championship, the playoff, anything. You do yards per attempt. You do, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. You do yards per attempt. You do explosive efficiency. Any metric that you choose, I'll go toe-to-toe, and I'll pick my quarterback every single time. And Georgia, please hear me on this. This is the first time we've had this in a very, very, very long time.
Yep.
He's good with the ball. He doesn't throw interceptions. The Aaron Murray and Matt Staffords of the world. Well, he's got this cannon arm, but throw interceptions, turnovers, doesn't take care of the ball. Yada 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 yada. Accuracy. He's got the deep ball. He's got the accuracy. He's got the taking care of the football. Everything is there for Stets. So
Georgia won't be this good at quarterback for the next 5 years. Period. They won't be this good at quarterback play. So
Yes.
Be careful what you wish for the 4 and 5 star kids, because I'm not saying they're not going to be good enough to lead Georgia to a championship. They won't be as good as Stetson Bennett is right now. I promise you. None of them
Daniel
will
is
be.
going to have to eat his hat live on this podcast when Stetson Bennett is in New York thinking about getting a Heisman. And I'm not saying it's a guarantee.
It's going to be fine, because when the Weldon brothers cash in on that Heisman ticket, they'll buy me a new hat. They'll buy me a new hat.
Know who helps you out. By the way, really
remember who your friends are.
Remember who started. By the way, Stetson Bennett the Fourth is your daddy or your father on Twitter. That's his Twitter handle. Stetson Bennett the Fourth is your daddy. Shout out to him. He gave us the cement truck. Oh no, he didn't give us cement truck.
That's not where that came from. That's somebody else. You can't keep it all straight.
I can't keep. There's so much happening right now. This is the guy that
just knows your Seinfeld reference.
This is that I'm a Seinfeld reference guy. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna come back, and we got a little bit more to talk about South Carolina, big picture Georgia football right after this. All right, Clint. For this last point, we got a little bit of heat for not as much heat as I thought we would for the Georgia's better than they were last year talk on Saturday's podcast.
Well,
first of all,
because they are
loyal third segment listeners. I'll say this to you, even though you're not the ones leaving the comments.
No.
We're going to start naming. We need to rename the Saturday pod, which is now my new favorite thing about the podcast.
The Saturday Night Podcast Review, the instant reaction is the new favorite thing about the podcast.
It's my new favorite thing about the podcast. We're going to rename it the Georgia football overreaction, because we're not reacting to the game. We are going to overreact to the game.
You took two mega Georgia fans geared up from games and you put a microphone right in front of them instantly after that game. We're going to say some stupid stuff.
Wait till we lose, y'all.
Ooh.
Wait till we lose.
Burning things in our own homes.
It is an overreaction pod. So when we overreact, when the audio's crunchy, just go ahead and drop it in the comments. We'll just pick it up. We'll sift through it later. It'll be great. Let's talk about, Clint, what it is about this Georgia defense specifically.
Okay.
I'm not ready to say the Georgia defense is better than it was last year, because I think that is laughable. I think that's laughable.
We never said that.
No, we did not. No.
Okay.
The Georgia team is better because the offense is much better and the defense is not much worse.
Correct.
So we lost all those talented players. Other than we still have talented players, which is the obvious answer. The obvious answer is there were a bunch of other talented players that are now playing. What is it about this Georgia defense specifically? And this is a question for you, Clint, because I know this defense is close to your heart. What is it about this Georgia defense specifically that allows them to sustain this level of excellence without 5 first-round picks, without guys like Lewis Seen and Devontae Wyatt and Jordan Davis, and I mean even guys who weren't first-round picks, Nakobe Dean and Channing Tindall and the like?
I got 3 things for you, and the first one comes from recruiting rankings and how Kirby has recruited and the master plan that he has and is translated on the field. But the first thing I want to say is Kirby tailors very specifically the type of player he wants in his system. Point 1. You go back, you have Jordan Davis, and you're like, wow, we got this kid in here. Let's just put him in the middle and let's just have him wreak havoc all day long. Let's keep the same 4 defensive linemen in all the time. And then let's go ahead and rotate out some inside linebackers. And I don't really care what's in the back end because we're just going to be getting to people all day long. Okay, that's what Kirby said. Kirby, then all of a sudden this year comes up and he looks at his defense, how he recruited. Recruiting cycles, we said, give me 6'5", 6'6", 250 to 270 edge who is blazing speed. And I'll take all of them. And he went out and got all of them. He hit with Nakobe Dean and he said, give me him times 3. And they went and got him times 3.
Yep.
Point 1, he tailor makes his personnel to fit specifically what he wants. Point 2, he knows these guys so well that each and every year we have more shutouts since Kirby has started than any other program in the nation. He gets the guys that he wants, and then he tailor makes it to their specific little nuanced approach. Daniel?
Yep.
it's very, very, the game plan is always something different. So he blitzes more. If y'all didn't see, Will and Shu dialing up more blitzes on Sunday, more man-to-man, and just bringing people off the edge because they know we don't have the same 4, but we have some other dudes. Yep. They kept bringing them over and over and over. And then the third thing, and Daniel, I can't believe I'm going to say this. They might not be better than last year's team on defense, but they sure as hell are faster, Daniel. They are faster than fast. We may not have the beef up front. Devontae Wyatt, Jordan Davis, Trayvon, like those guys were just huge and fast. This year's team, though, quick as a duck on a June bug. Daniel, all over the place.
15, Tresman Marshall. Welcome to the podcast. We like you. We're a fan of 15. You're absolutely right, Clint. And really what I hear you saying in there, because you said it about 100 times, is this defense is able to sustain this level of excellence because Kirby Smart is what the answer is. The answer is Kirby Smart. So come back tomorrow, and I got some more things I want to say about Kirby Smart. I want to sort of go deep in to a little bit of a philosophical argument. Why is Kirby Smart better than your coach? And why would you trade your coach, no matter what fan base you are, for Kirby Smart right now? We're going to talk about that tomorrow, as well as a little bit of a look ahead, some other thoughts on the UJ football program. Thanks for listening. Thanks for bearing with the audio, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
See you.